Today we are going to be making a pattern like this, but I'm going to be using different colors. I'm going to be using these 3 colors here. I'm using lightweight yarn, double dap, and a 3.5mm hook. So I'm going to start by making a magic loop, and this is how I make my magic loop. I take my yarn, wrap it around my finger, bringing it back. I make an X here, insert my hook, pull through, and then chain to close off the magic loop. So this is my magic loop done. I'm going to chain 3. This will count as my first double crochet stitch. I make another double crochet and another one, and this forms the first cluster of double crochet stitches. I'm going to chain 2 and make another cluster of double crochet stitches. Chain 2, another cluster, chain 2, another cluster, one, 2, 3, 4. Those are our 4 clusters. We are going to close our magic loop or circle. We are going to chain 2, our last 2, and we shall go on top of our chain and slip stitch. This is the beginning of our granny square. So we are going to slip stitch until we reach the corner. And then chain 3. This is our first double crochet stitch, another double crochet stitch, and another double crochet stitch. Then we are going to chain 2 and another cluster in the same space. Chain 1, go to the other corner and do the same thing. We are going to do this for all the 4 corners. Chain 1, go to the other corner, chain 1, we go to our last corner. Now we are going to chain 1 and go where we started, slip stitch, We are going to tie it off and we are going to cut our yarn. Pull out. Now we are going to add on the second color. Our second color is going to be white, and this is how I join. I make a knot and then go to any of the corners, insert hook, so I am still going to start by chaining 3 and make a corner. A corner is made of 2 clusters of 3 double crochet stitches. So that's our first cluster of 3. Chain 2 and then we make another cluster of 3. That's our corner. We are going to chain 1 and then we go to our space here, make a double crochet, our first double crochet. Now for the second one, we are going to make a triple crochet stitch. So we yarn over twice and then we go to the cluster below. You see there are 3 double crochet stitches. Now we go to the middle one. On this one side we insert hook and we pull the hook through from the other side of that double crochet stitch, and then we pull and we finish our triple crochet. And then the third one we make it like the first one we did. So that's the beginning of our design. And the next one we are going to go to our corner as before. If you've not understood this properly, it is okay. We are still going to be doing it. We are still going to be doing it in these other spaces. So let's go to our corner. We make our 2 clusters. That's the first cluster, then we chain 2 and then we make another cluster. Chain 1 and we are back to our space again. So we make the first double crochet stitch, then the second one is going to be a triple crochet. We go on the side of the center double crochet stitch, pull out the hook from the other side, yarn over, we make what we would call the front post triple crochet stitch. So that is again our another cluster of 3. We've arrived to our corner. Chain 2, another cluster, chain 1 and we are back to another space where we double crochet the first one, front post triple crochet, and then make a double crochet to finish our cluster. Chain 1 to another corner. Chain 2, chain 1, oh sorry, chain 1, make the first, and then the front post triple crochet stitch, and then we finish off our cluster. Chain 1, go to the top of the chain, and we slip stitch. We are going to slip stitch until our corner. Chain 3, then we make our corner as usual. Chain 1, now we find another space. From now on, every time you find a space where you're supposed to make a cluster of 3 double crochet stitches, as in a granny square, here we are going to do 1 double crochet stitch, and then a front post triple crochet stitch, and a double crochet stitch. Chain 1, we go to our next space, a double crochet stitch, a front post triple crochet stitch, a double crochet stitch. You see now there are 2, and then we are going to go to our corner and make the corner the same way we've done all other corners. We are going to go to do this until we end our row. So I've been working until the end of the row. I chain 1 and then I slip stitch to close off the row, and this is where I'm going to change color. So I am going to be cutting off this yarn, tighten it. Our next color is gray. Still going to make a knot. Get to any corner, start by chaining 3 and making a corner. So we chain 1 and we go to our space, make the first double crochet stitch as we did before, and make a front post triple crochet stitch. And then finish the cluster. Chain 1, go to the next space, make the first double crochet stitch, and then a front post triple crochet stitch. You will realize that the middle the middle front post triple crochet stitch lines with the one which you began with, and then we finish off. Chain 1, this is what we have so far. I am going to be making another row of gray before I join on another color. So this is how far I am. I've put on a second row of gray. I'm going to be closing off. And then I will cut the gray, and at this point I am going to be adding on the maroon. As you keep adding on colors, the pattern keeps growing until you reach the desired size. And you need to note that the thicker your yarn is, here I used the thicker yarn, the pattern is more visible than here. This pattern has two sides. There is this side and then the behind side, which also has another beautiful pattern. So keep crocheting until we meet in another video. God bless you.